What up, y'all? Come with me as I do a 2-strand twist on my man. Now, if you had to guess, like, what type of hair texture would you say he has? I'll tell y'all, he got 4C hair, like the type of hair that give you hangnails. But it's okay, that's my man, and I'm gonna stick beside him.
Oh, you're so brave. How brave of you to stick beside your man for having kinky hair, like, and then to date people with that said hair texture. I really feel like it's a humiliation ritual. Like, you're dating this person because you enjoy humiliating them. It's like the dislike of the hair, the disregard of the hair as a beautiful hair type. You don't even care about your clients. You don't care if your clients have that exact same hair type. You don't care how it makes them feel because, you know, in your mind, everybody should be chasing that straight hair that you're attaching onto the hair.
Sometimes it don't make no sense. Does it really have to? There is nothing I can say.
Hi, welcome to Mayowa's World. Hi y'all, welcome to Mayowa's World. My name is Mayowa, and on my platform I like to talk about colorism, featureism, texturism. Today we're going to be talking about texturism and how I feel like a lot of hairstylists use 4C hair for humiliation. Before I get into that, I wanted to plug my Patreon because I am posting more frequently on my Patreon. So if you want to get like a deeper understanding of who I am or kind of see what I have going on behind the scenes, please join my Patreon. I don't know about y'all, but we had like a snow day here in Atlanta, but it didn't really snow. It was just like icicles on the trees, but it's so cold. I don't like the cold. I don't know how you cold country babes do it. I don't like being in the cold. I'm meant to be in hot weather. So anyway, let's jump right into the topic. I want to talk about something I've noticed within hairstylists and how a lot of times they use 4C hair to either rage bait or make fun of. And I think it's just very ironic that they do this because they literally work with people who have 4C hair. I don't really know what y'all's spiritual belief is, but I genuinely think that if someone thinks bad of your hair or they have really negative thoughts on your hair and they touch your hair, I really feel like they have the ability to transmute some of that negativity onto your hair. And even if you don't believe in that in a spiritual sense, a lot of times you can see it with the roughness that they have with the hair, how they handle the hair, how they touch it, because they genuinely in their mind think that 4C hair is very rough and very rugged. So for those who don't know, texturism is the discrimination of kinky hair types. And when we talk about natural hair, there are so many facets of discrimination. You know, we have it systemically, understanding that, you know, the straighter your hair is, the looser your hair is, the more likable people find it to be. But then also you experience texturism when you are trying to get your hair done. So if you're going to a hair salon or somebody who is supposed to be specialized in doing hair, a lot of times you will then experience another level of texturism in those spaces. And these are supposed to be professional people who are trained in handling black hair, but a lot of times they still have the same isms and they still have the same discriminations as everybody else. I remember the first time I got my hair permed, and the lady who was perming my hair, she made a lot of very negative comments about my hair, and then she charged me more because she said my hair was kinkier. So she was like, since your hair, I don't know if she said kinky or nappy, but she said one of the two, and she charged more because of that, which I thought was really strange, simply because why would you charge more if this is supposed to be your job? So I think a lot of times people feel discouraged to get their hair done. They have a lot of trauma around getting their hair done because this is supposed to be, you know, as Black people, you are shamed if you don't really know how to take care of your hair. And then when you try to pay someone to do your hair and they're making you feel even worse, it's just kind of like a really bad situation to be in. And I've just noticed that a lot more hairstylists feel very comfortable to come online and make fun of people who have kinky hair and shame people who have kinky hair simply because they don't like to do the hair type. They don't want to learn about it, and they feel like they just don't like the hair type. I also don't want to make it seem as if every hairstylist is out to get you. I've met some really fantastic hairstylists in my life. I remember one time when I was earlier in my freeform lock journey, I was getting a lot of comments of people telling me that my hair looked really disheveled and that I should just try and manicure it. I remember I was at a party and I talked to this Black woman who was a hairstylist, and I asked her, I was like really vulnerable. I was just like, I don't really know. I don't really like my hair, and people keep making comments that I should manicure it. And she was someone who did locks. And she looked at me and she was like, your hair is meant to be freeform. Your hair is meant to be as it is, and it's just gonna keep growing, and don't let these people tell you anything different. So that's a hairstylist who literally turned down work. She turned down an opportunity to do my hair and make profit for herself because she knew deep inside I wanted to freeform, but I didn't have the confidence to go for it. So these are like moments where, you know, there are some hairstylists who are very radical in their thought and have really done the work to deconstruct texturism and anti-blackness. But I'm not gonna say that a majority of them are like that. So I saw like 2 videos online of people making comments about 4C hair and how they handle it and how they handle people who have that hair texture. And I wanted to talk about it and unpack it.
This client came in with 4Z type hair. I cannot be seen with this Brillo pad out in public. This man was so crusty.
Yeah, so this video has like over 287,000 likes and over 1 million views. And essentially it's just her making fun of a client who has 4C hair and just essentially using it as a joke. Just this idea that 4C hair is rough. And I find it to be really ironic because if you have actually ever touched 4C hair or you know 4C hair is one of the softest hair textures. Like, that's the part that gets me, is like, literally, if you add water to that hair and you touch the hair, it is very fluffy feeling. Like, my hair is very soft, it's very fluffy feeling. But I think because it's the way it looks, like in terms of it looking in resistance or in opposition to straight hair, people think straight hair is soft. So then our hair has to be hard in contrast. And like, the farther it is from straight, the more hard and harsh people think it is, but it's actually very, very, very soft. So all these comments that like, oh, this hair texture is like so hard and like so rough and it's a fallacy, it's a lie. And when it comes to this girl's videos, how are you allowed to have a license or touch 4C hair or touch black hair in general if there's actually a hair type that you don't like and that you find like comical? And, you know, just like the contentification of like doing hair and how it's just been used as a new way to humiliate people and make fun of people's hair texture, and just like, it's acceptable and like it has so many views because people really enjoy those kind of jokes. And then the plot thickened when I realized that this person who she was making fun of, this guy, is actually her boyfriend.
This client came in looking like he rolled his head around in some chicken flour, but I do love some chicken, so I had to get me a quick little taste.
And so in my mind, I'm like, that's even weirder. Like, this is how y'all play with your partners. Like, you find it funny to make fun of their hair texture. Like, and I just know part of me, some people were like, oh, you're just so sensitive. Like, that's just like how they joke. If the joke is your existence, like if the joke is your hair texture, if the joke is your complexion, if the joke is where you're from, like, I'm sorry, those are not jokes. You know, and also if we were to flip it, like if you were to date a white person, like a white guy, and that white guy, whenever he's joking, he like makes fun of you for being black, what would you say about that person for doing that? Like, you would literally say, oh, that black person has low racial self-esteem to be with somebody who is white and makes fun of them for being black. But when you're black and you're with somebody who's making fun of you, when you're black and in a relationship with somebody else who's black, or you're in a relationship with somebody who's mixed race and they're making fun of you for having kinky hair or for your complexion, that's okay? Neither of them are okay. You know, then I started to realize like there's like a trend of like hairstylists dating people who they don't like the hair texture of, and constantly being, you know, or having taking on clients who they don't really want to do the hair of. Like, what's the point of doing this hair type and making fun of them? And then another video that I saw that also kind of had a similar undertone to me was there's this hairstylist called Cliff Vermeer, and he's known for doing frontals and lace fronts and wig installations and blowouts and stuff like this. And he's been getting a lot of traction online because he's very good at installing frontals. And I saw a video where he was doing the hair of his boyfriend, and I'll play the clip.
Up, y'all, come with me as I do a 2-strand twist on my man using the Bratz collection by Kaleidoscope. So right here, I'm using the So Slick braid gel, okay? Now, if you had to guess, like, what type of hair texture would you say he has? Shit, I'll tell y'all. He got 4C hair. Like, the type of hair that give you hangnails and shit. But it's okay. That's my man, and I'm gonna stick beside him. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing that the So Slick braid gel can't slick down. The clients that don't be paying, they be doing the most in the chair. So it's so exhausting, okay? He don't want to detangle his hair. He don't want to take his hair out. I got to take his hair out, detangle it, wash it, blow dry it, and twist it. I'll be wore out, okay?
And I don't like, in my mind, I'm like, do people know that you can talk about 4C hair without making fun of it for being rough, ugly, unattractive, rugged? Like, and this is what I mean. Like, I feel like people see 4C hair as like, oh, I have to do this. And it's like, how are y'all allowed to be in business? How are y'all allowed to constantly have people come to your shop and feel comfortable to show you their hair, which is a vulnerable moment, and you make content out of it and you talk about how you don't like the hair texture? And there were some people in the comments that were like, well, you know, my hair is rough too. Like, my hair hurts my fingers and my hair gives me hangnails. I need you to stand up. I need you to stand up. Like, I've seen girls who are mixed race and have like a 3C hair texture. Their hair can break brushes. Their hair can break combs. Their hair can also be very hard to detangle. Curly hair that is not kinky can be very hard to detangle. But I never see jokes about that in the way of like being seen as an innately negative thing. But people want to see 4C hair as really rough. And like, even him showing it and how he was grabbing the hair, and then all that product, it's like you just slathered gel all in the hair to get it to be a different hair texture. And so it's just like a lot of things mixed up in one. It's like the dislike of the hair, the disregard of the hair as a beautiful hair type. You don't even care about your clients. You don't care if your clients have that exact same hair type. You don't care how it makes them feel, because, you know, in your mind, everybody should be chasing that straight hair that you're attaching onto the hair, to the head. Everybody should want to have that. And it's just like, yeah, like, and I also feel like, once again, this is the person's boyfriend. So once again, you're joking, talking about, you know, that's my man, I'm gonna stick beside him because he has 4C hair. Oh, you're so brave. How brave of you to stick beside your man for having kinky hair. Like, wow. I didn't expect you to stick beside, you know, this is what I mean. Like, these languages are so damaging towards other Black people. And it's just damaging to people who want to get their hair done. And a lot of people who don't just end up not going to hairstylists. Obviously, I don't go to hairstylists. But I've definitely had my tits and tats with hairstylists. I've had hairstylists make comments about my hair being dirty or messy. You know, all these things, because once again, people don't want to do the individual work to unlearn it. But it's just disappointing when you see big hairstylists who have their own salons, who have this big clout, who have these things, and they're so comfortable to make fun of kinky hair texture. And then to date people with that said hair texture, I really feel like it's a humiliation ritual. Like, you're dating this person because you enjoy humiliating them. And on a spiritual level, I feel like you're siphoning the energy from their head and you're taking it. Because one thing about it, they touch in people's hair, which is a blessing. Like, you're touching their blessing, you're touching their hair. And I really believe that every time you're adding something negative to their hair, you're taking something positive back from it. So, you know, be careful out here with people who you let touch your hair. This is also one of the biggest reasons why I don't let anybody touch my hair. But just don't let people touch your hair, especially when they have negative opinions about your hair. So yeah, I would love to know what you guys think. I don't find this stuff to be humorous. I'm just like, I really wish that they would stop doing this and stop seeing 4C hair as like the butt of the joke. So yeah, if you got to the end, let me know if you like this look. I was going for a very 70s look. I even have like a warm light, you know, it's giving like disco diva with like a white, every time it's winter time or it's cold, I'll do a white icy look. I like a good little icy look. So yes, if you made it to the end, tell me you like my 70s look. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.